Somebody got your help. Somebody throw shit at her.
Thank you, thank you. All right, everyone getting situated? That's a very good idea. All right, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you all for joining us today on this big day for the city of Frankfort. And I know Mother Nature threw us a curveball today, but we've adapted, and really, you can't be out at the site where the Paddocks is going to be. This is the second best place because it's a reminder that the city of Frankfort is the state capital of Kentucky. And today is a long way coming, and it's as we launch the largest construction of the mixed-use property in the Frankfort's history. And this project is truly a collaborative effort. It involved significant engineering, financial, and organizational challenges. And without the support of our executive branch, our legislative branch, our city officials, our county officials, and private developers, this would not have happened. So this just shows that anything can happen when everyone works together. I want to welcome today and thank the Governor, Andy Beshear, Senior Advisor Rocky Adkins, House Minority Leader Derek Graham. And we have quite a few names, so Senator Jay Williams, developers Pat Madden of Hamburg Place, Brett Caller of Equity Management Group, along with his associates Raj Patel, Kelly Mullins, and Frankfort native Jason Taylor, who has been a key person on this. And a special thank you to city staff for your efforts to get us to this point, and to Penny Peevler, the now interim Executive Director of Kentucky Capital Development Corporation, for your shepherding of this project. Without you, this couldn't have happened. And we also need to give a welcome and a special thank you to the developer who started this project over 40 years ago, Don Parsons, who had the vision for this infill area of West Frankfort to become a commercial property. Don and his project manager, Renee Brewer, had the belief, the investment, and the tenacity. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you all, Don and Renee. And some of the hurdles that Don faced is that this property, although it was zoned commercial in the 1980s, without a significant road network, this would not be developed to its full potential. And for that, we want to thank the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, who put their minds together and found an innovative solution to make this happen, one that was acceptable to their engineers, the Federal Highway Administration, and to the surrounding neighbors. So thank you to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Also, we must thank my fellow members of the City of Frankfort Board of Commissioners, Kelly May, Kyle Thompson, Patricia Waldridge, and Lisa Unger. who understood the transformative potential of this development, not only for Frankfort, but the surrounding communities, and who voted to make a major multi-million-dollar investment in that new road system that's going to link this development to the east-west connector, thus providing more access to the shopping and new dining options. But also, it's going to improve safety and ease congestion on 127. So thank you all. And together, we understand that we have to incentivize some of these projects. And one such incentive was we, along with the county, jointly passed a tax increment financing district. And for that, we want to thank the Franklin County Fiscal Court, whose members are here today. I want to thank Judge Michael Mueller, magistrates Sherry Sebastian, Richard Tanner, J.W. Blackburn, Mike Herod, Kelly Dykes, and Eric Wisman for their partnership in this project. And now this would be a good time to bring up my friend, Franklin County Judge Executive Michael Mueller, to offer a few remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. Just look around, you guys. I mean, this is pretty incredible that here we are in a 30-minute audible from the job site to the rotunda of the Capitol. Thank you, Governor. Normal people can't have this done, but we did. But it's pretty impressive. I mean, this place is packed. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Today was possible because of people working together. You know, and it's not just the city and county, it's the government, it's the legislators, it's everybody. You know, and I think that's one thing Frankfort has struggled with a little bit in the past, is getting on the same page and working together for the common goal. As the mayor said, this is one of the reasons this became possible today is because of the city and county working together on the TIF incentive, which helped increment the finance of the taxes and things like that for the developers. And so I think when people really look at an investment like this, they wonder how it could happen. But I can't say enough good things about what we did as a court and as a city for working together to make this happen. At this time, I would like to thank our magistrates, Sherry Sebastian, Richard Tanner, J.W. Blackburn, Kelly Dykes, Mike Hare, and Eric Wisman for having the faith and a project like this to realizing that big things can happen in Frankfort if we all work together. You know, and like the mayor said, I want to thank Mr. Parsons for having this vision 38 years ago to kind of set this forward to get going. And this dream team, I'm going to call it here, that came in, you know, I want to just thank Pat Madden, Brett Collar, Raj Patel, Jason Taylor, and their team for having the desire and the want to come to Franklin County and invest, and just know that we'll stand behind you every step of the way as we work through this project. You know, Frankfort right now is having things happen. People have said for a long time, Frankfort's Frankfort. Frankfort's a state town. But Frankfort's more than that. We are seeing more investments, more community, more jobs. We have so many things on the horizon that we're getting ready to announce. It is unbelievable. And it is exciting for somebody in my position, along with the fiscal court, along with the mayor, along with the governor. Things are finally happening in Franklin County. So I can't say enough good things about everybody working together. I just hope we can continue to do that for years to come, and more things will happen. So on behalf of the Franklin County Fiscal Court, I just want to say thank you to the ones who are going to invest in our community, and together we will make this a better community. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And you're right, it's a vote of confidence that people are excited about the direction that our community is going. Next, I want to introduce Pat Madden. He's known as one of Kentucky's best developers, and he and his family created Hamburg Place in Lexington after Pat graduated from Stanford and UK Law School. And if you don't know, the Hamburg Place community in Lexington is home to over 2 million square feet of retail space, 160 acres of professional offices, and 1,000 acres of residential development. And Pat took over this project from Don Parsons last year at a critical time and helped move it forward. He, together with Brett Collar and the talented team at Equity Management Group, are creating the Paddocks of Frankfort, which is a first of its kind development and lifestyle center one that will solidify Frankfort's position in the region. And I'll welcome up Pat Madden to offer a few remarks.
Well, thank you, Mayor Wilkinson, County Judge Mueller, thank you. Also, thank you to my partners, Jason Taylor, who's here. Unfortunately, Brett couldn't make it, and the rest of the team he has. I'd also want to thank Mr. Parsons and Renee Brewer, whose name hadn't been mentioned. Renee was a bulldog on this thing, and everybody's shaking their heads. They remember, even Governor remembers. Renee really helped Don do that. And also, thanks to Mr. John Woodall, the attorney for Mr. Parsons, who really had a lot of vision in this too, a lot of help too. John really was the kind of calming, logical voice through this whole thing. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. Today, I don't know if anybody's ever said the word or announced it. We're announcing Target is the There we go. All right. To say that it was easy getting Target here, that would not be true. But there was a lot of hurdles that we went through. They are now very excited. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, sorry, thank you. They are very excited about coming to this community. In fact, Target actually, Mr. Parsons can tell this story too, but back in the, early 2000s, they were looking at this same development. But at that time, we didn't have the administration that we have now. We didn't have people like Rocky Atkins, Jim Gray, and can I bring up Jason Shawala and James Ballinger? Those are two of Jim Gray's lieutenants. I would say they were firm but fair throughout the process. Very firm, but very fair. If there's somebody that knows more about the roads of Kentucky than James Ballinger, that's who Jim brought in with him. I want to meet him. Man, the guy knows every road. You can bring up a road in Harlan County, Western Kentucky, James Ballinger knows about it. And without that, without these people that I'm sitting here with, Target would not have come. Let's just be honest about it. The whole new way that we came up with how to redesign the interchange, I know Rocky attended a meeting with Target and it was not an easy process. That's what I want to say. And again, without this administration, this would have never happened. And in fact, it had a false start previously and got nowhere. So this is something very special, something very unique, something very few communities in this state have. In fact, I'm unaware of a Target deal that's been done since 2000 in the state of Kentucky. So this is a big thing that a national corporation like this has decided to come to a community like this and make this type of investment. Think about that. In 24 years, they haven't chose to do anything in Kentucky until now. That says a lot about Frankfort. So this development, I'd like to tell you, name other tenants, but we're not going to do that today. Today is about Target, is about the people that helped make this happen. We are, trust me, we are in communications with basically every type of retailer that you can imagine. You'll come to this spot, you won't leave. You'll eat, you'll fill your car up, you'll get your car fixed, you'll shop for, your wife will go in one direction and shop for clothes or groceries. The husband will go somewhere else, or this will have everything in it eventually. And we will start announcing those tenants over time. But again, today's about Target and celebrating Target and celebrating the mass investment that's going into this venture by all parties. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Traditional Bank. That's who our banker is. That's who's taken a leap of faith with us. I don't know if anybody was even here from Traditional. Are they? We got there. Okay, here we go. All right, there we are. All right, I hadn't seen them. There they are. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for having faith in us. And they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't believe in Frankfort too. So I think we've thanked most people. Did I leave somebody out, Jason? Jason has been my right-hand man here on all this. He's really, really helpful. Well, I'd just like to finish by saying thank you again to the mayor, to the county executive, the governor, Secretary of Transportation. I don't think I called you that earlier, actually, Secretary. Okay. And I appreciate all the warm welcome here. We appreciate how open the community is to us coming here, and I'm so excited about getting this deal over the finish line. We've got the target part done. We're starting. I can't wait in a couple of years for you all to see what this looks like. This is an over $100 million investment in Frankfort. That's what's being made here. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you for your investment and confidence in Frankfort. Next, I want to give a thank you to Governor Andy Beshear and Team Kentucky. And if you hadn't noticed, Governor and Team Kentucky have been supporters of Frankfort and Franklin County from day one, and they've been champions of this Paddocks of Frankfort project also from day one. The governor even lent his voice to the recruitment of Target as we work to attract them to consider the capital city. As a Frankfort resident and father, Governor Beshear fully understands the needs of our residents and our aspirations to become a true capital city in every sense of the term. We're so grateful for his administration's continuous investment in our community, and I'd like to welcome Governor Beshear to the podium.
Thank you all. Well, hey, neighbors. Today we're celebrating that we are bringing Target to Frankfort, Kentucky. Mayor, Judge, Pat, Mr. Parsons, we met about 10 years ago. And here we are today, celebrating the arrival of the Paddocks of Frankfort. The Paddocks of Frankfort. It starts with the Target, and then it's going to be like the 12 days of Christmas as we learn everything else that is going to come in. This is going to change this town in special and positive ways. It's going to bring new energy. It's going to bring more tourists. It's going to shine a bigger light on the capital city of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And you heard it. This is a huge economic development project. Folks, this is a $150 million investment in Frankfort and Franklin County. Here's the number we haven't thrown out yet, but for everybody in the hard hats, it's expected to create 1,732 construction jobs. And once completed, the annual impact is estimated to directly support 1,085 jobs and $28 million in yearly wages. That is just huge. I remember conversations a while ago about the property itself, but I still remember getting the first call, though there'd been a conversation. And out loud I said, "You mean we could bring a Target to Frankfort?" And in the other room I heard my wife say, "Target to Frankfort?" And that's when I knew I had to get this done. But seriously, it's what happens when we all work together. I mean, every single level of government had a role in this. Wouldn't have happened without the city and the county, without it being in the road plan and getting pushed up in the road plan. So let's thank the General Assembly for including those dollars. Specifically, got to thank Rocky Atkins because it wasn't always in the road plan where it needed to be, but worked with all our officials to make sure. Aren't you excited? I mean, when we think about our lives, yes, we think a lot about work and we want there to be purpose in our work, but we also think about how we spend the time when we're away from work, where we take our families, the memories that we create, what we can do for them. And all of this is going to enrich that time and our lives here in Franklin County. So to the mayor and the city council, thank you for stepping up and getting this done. To the judge and all of the magistrates, including the one we took away from you and now the extra one that you have, really grateful for your work. This was a really tough design on the transportation side. I know you've heard that, but it took a lot of innovation. Thankfully, we have the best transportation cabinet in the entire country. And I love the name, the Paddocks of Frankfort. Of course, paddocks relate to our horse industry, and that's something that brings people to Frankfort and the surrounding areas. But then don't you love that ownership piece of it in the end? This is going to be Frankfort and Franklin counties development. It's going to create jobs right here. It is the biggest investment of its kind in Franklin County's history. And isn't it exciting at the same time we are seeing our state take off with these types of investments, we're seeing it right here as well. I mean, we talk a lot about over 1,000 new economic development announcements since I became governor, over $36 billion in new private sector investment. We've never seen anything close to that. More than 35,000 new jobs. And guess what? Frankfort's had its part, because just a few months ago, Site Selection magazine, for the first time in history, ranked Frankfort as one of the best economic developers of this size of a city. And just think about the momentum here and the momentum throughout the state. It's not just the economic development announcements that we're making. It's the fact that we've never seen general fund revenue and economy like this. April hit $1.8 billion, the second highest month ever in history. But we've had over 20 consecutive months with over $1 billion in monthly general fund receipts. Those give us the dollars to look at projects like this. They give us the ability to invest in our families. You look at last year being the best year for exports in the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Last year was the best year for tourism in the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And all of this ends up working together. You think about last year, a 4.5% increase in tourism from the year before, and that was our best year ever. Think about all the people coming to Castle and Key, to Buffalo Trace, to the Josephine Sculpture Park, and so many. You can clap for them. And so much else, and how many more of their dollars are going to stay here. I think all of this works together, along with just last year, us announcing the largest payment ever in lieu of taxes from the Commonwealth of Kentucky to Frankfort. I know Penny's clapping for that. Penny and I go to church together, so we might claim this one too. But it's just thrilling. The new internet money that the Frankfort Plant Board has a role in, and how it's coming out, just that we are seeing this incredible trajectory right now where we as a Commonwealth, and we as a county, and we as a city can be everything we've dreamed of, and we can get there faster and sooner than we ever thought was possible. So I'll give you this promise. In the last 3 years, 6 months, and a couple days I have left, we are not going to slow down. Not in Kentucky, not in Franklin County, and not in Frankfort. This is our time to sprint forward as quickly as we can, making as much progress as we can, not knowing how long our economy might stay this way, but knowing every bit of opportunity we bring in is going to be a better life for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids. And I think this, just like everything else we do, is about leaving a better city, county, and a better state. And I know that's what we are all doing together. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Governor. And there are more great things that are coming, and you said it. And you brought up something, the legislative branch. All of this, the new road system, it takes money, and it takes quite a bit of money. So we do want to thank our legislative representatives who made it possible and kept that money, not only put it in the first time, but kept it in the second time and made sure that this happened. And we also have to give a recognition to Senior Advisor Rocky Atkins, because somebody mentioned it earlier, but I know at least on one occasion he showed up just at the right time to help close the deal and made sure that Target knew that this was important from the governor's office. So thank you, Rocky. And I also want to thank the governor for selecting Jim Gray to be his transportation secretary. Secretary Gray. Secretary Gray has been instrumental in the advancement of many Frankfort initiatives, including this one we announced today. He fully understands, as a former mayor, our goals and knows that sometimes government has to be the catalyst to spark this type of growth that will meet the needs of current residents. We're so thankful that during the planning phase, he led the Transportation Cabinet to find a pathway forward, including James Ballinger and John Moore and Jason Sawala. And they could have said no at any instance, I'm sure, but they found a path forward, an innovative one, and for that, we say thank you. And why don't you come up, Secretary Gray, and offer a few remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Well, what a great day to crowd the winner's circle. What a great day to crowd the winner's circle. You know, I've been to a few groundbreakings in my career, and I don't think I've seen any with the enthusiasm, the level of enthusiasm of this one. So y'all give yourselves a big hand. Mr. Mayor, you've said it well. Governor, you've said it well. Pat, you've said it so well. There is no I in teamwork. And this project really did. Again, I have to confess, I've been through a bunch of projects, but this one really did illustrate all of that. From the very beginning, when I first heard about it, Don, and the governor said, now, Jim, he pulled me over to say, he said, now, and Rocky said the same, now, we want to get this done. And he said, I want to get this done. And my wife, Brittany, really wants to get this done. And he already told that story, but it happens to have the added advantage of being the truth. When you think about a project like this, and a city like Frankfort, and a county like Franklin, and you think of what it takes. Yeah, I did have a job once upon a time of being mayor, and I remember sometimes it was like pushing a chain uphill with your nose to get a project done. There was not a week that went by when this project was really at its ascendance that I didn't hear from the mayor and the judge. I heard from the mayor, Penny, routinely. It was like I'd see his name come up and I'd say, oh, I know what this is about. You know what this is about. It's about the Paddocks. What are we going to get done? Working with James Ballinger, working with Jason Sawala and our team and John Moore. They were going to be creative. They were also going to make sure that whatever was done was safe and responsible. But, there is creativity in good engineering, and that's what was demonstrated here. So, really, I said I've been through a number of groundbreakings, and Pat, you've been through more probably. I love it when Pat Madden, I have to confess, when Pat Madden, when you pick Pat to work with you, this is a developer who does what he says he's going to do, and that's really commendable. And that gave security to the governor and comfort to the governor and to the transportation folks that, we're going to get this project done for the right reasons. Now, having been to a number of these groundbreakings, I am really excited about this one because I have yet to be at one in the rotunda of the Capitol. So, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to turn it back over to you for this exciting new adventure of a groundbreaking in the rotunda. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Gray, and now is the time where we will have a groundbreaking, as it is. So we're gonna have three opportunities here. First, we're gonna invite the speakers to the signage over here, and we'll put on our hard hats. And then we'll have another round of I'll have a roll call here of folks we'll have up, including elected officials. And this is it. So speakers first. And Don and Renee, you want to come to the...
Secretary? Good. And then we'll slot you guys right in. Okay. I'm gonna call you right up. All right, bring it out of the way. Huh. Yeah, go ahead. All right, let's have our elected officials join. Raj, get in there too as well. Raj, Kelly Mullins, where are you? And all of our elected officials. Yeah, step up. Just pretend we're out and stuff. Oh, the fake beard.
Picture of Roger.
Oh, it's gonna get bad.
You got it? A little bit here.
Come on. How's that look? Mr. Parsons is here. Do you want to put him behind him? All right, good. Okay, let me get, and then we'll get him in. Yeah, we'll do one more. All right, I want to get one more with Mr. Parsons. Have you got everything? Yep, tuck him in. There we go. That's okay. I'm going to take you right to the Yeah, right to the middle.
That's a good call.
I knew his brother. I know his brother.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Much better.
Much better. Let me get out. Okay. Okay. Am I out of your way? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Iced coffee.
This
Right, right on the circle, right down the steps on the circle in front of the Capitol.
All right, this concludes our ceremony, and there is cookies. There's iced coffee and cookies outside of the Capitol. Right? Commission phone.